This is a project we're working on today. Looks like a big mess, don't it? This used to be an old pond, and it's just gotten grown up. Homeowners decided not to put another pond. They just don't want the liability of it. And we're gonna come in and clean all this up. Instead of having a large pond, we're just gonna take the creek that goes down through there and create a few little spots. So we can have some little small ponds. Just something for looks. This is gonna be a wedding venue, and it's gonna be a pretty awesome place. There ain't much to show yet because you really can't see anything. This is just an overgrown mess, but stay tuned and see what we do. Man, look how much water is coming out of the ground. Let's zoom out. I'm trying to zoom in and zoom out. Sorry if it's a little shaky. I'm on the phone, but I'll have my camera tomorrow. So right now, I'm in a very tricky spot. See all the water in the ground? Get around here, we can see what we're doing. So I gotta walk on logs. Look at all the water it's squishing up in the logs. If I get off in this, I am done for. See all this, whoa, just soaking wet. I probably don't even need to walk in this. See the logs, look how far the logs are squishing down just as I walk on it. So this could go really bad really quick. Really bad. I mean, it's saturated with water and we got to get it where it's stable so they can use this. I did dig a trench along the front, and I couldn't get into this area before, so I thought this area was stable until I went to walk into it a little bit ago and sunk up over the tracks and thought I was going to get stuck. So I got me some logs, threw me some logs down to make me some mats. And you can see how, I mean, it's pushing the logs down in there real far. So, man, one wrong move and I'm having a bad day. So we're gonna go through and dig us a trench, drain some of this water out, and then once it drains down, it'll stabilize all this so I can get on it. It'll take it a few days, but I'll get all this to draining, and then I got some other stuff to work on while this is stabilizing. Plus I can come to the upper side. I can come down a pretty good ways. I don't know if you can see, I got a pile of brush that I was worked up to there, and I may be able to walk it on down to here. I don't know, but just have to see. It's gonna be interesting. Look at them logs. That one squished that way down in the ground. Woo! If I get off in this and get stuck, man, this is not gonna be good at all. Stay tuned and see what happens. I got a really big stump. I don't know how big if you can tell how big it is, but this thing digs out some big stumps. But I'm carrying this up to this one's gonna get carved into something. I don't know what they're gonna make out of it, but it'll be pretty cool. If I get out right here, I'll show you how big this thing is compared to the track hoe. It's a big stump compared to the track hoe. It's almost as big as the track hoe is. Pretty powerful machine. So we're a couple days in. We've got most of the pond area up that way cleaned up. I'm gonna start on this in a few minutes and get all this cleaned up. I'll have all this cleaned up today, and I'll get a little video from the front. See where I dug the trench yesterday to dewater everything? Where it's holding water, that's done on purpose, so that water will sit there and all your mud will kind of dissipate into the ground and keep it from, make your water cleaner. So you look right here, see how clean the water is besides the leaves. So all my mud, the muddy water should stay up through there, and by the time it gets through all this, it'll filter out and it'll be clean when it hits the creek. because we don't want to muddy up the creek. So that's the whole purpose for all this. And we'll get ready to close all this up in a couple of days. But I wanted to get some befores on the back part of the area. The pond kind of went out through there a little bit, but not so much. But you see how grown up it is. Can't even see the track hoe too good. But Mara's fixing to start bush hogging all this while I'm working on some other stuff. So we're gonna come through and bush hog everything we can. I'll take out a few small trees, but we're not gonna take out much here. We just want to clean this up and get it to where it can be used and get some of the fallen trees down. But I just want to get this before, because you see how grown up it is. And here comes Mara now picking up some debris. Had a few small trees I got out of her way and some stuff, so I got it before she got in there so she can bush hog, and then I'll get the rest of it. When she gets in there, when we start seeing some other stuff, we'll get it. And I'm coming through too. I'll take out a few small trees and try to take out all these vines I can. But I want to leave stuff like these trees. They look pretty cool. So we'll save them, and anything that looks unique we want to save. That's where we're at right now. I'm gonna get back to work. So this is a cool little spot. I know you can't see it right up in there, but there's a little waterfall up there that's awesome, and it's running through the rocks. It's about 1 foot wide. And that's one thing we want to get to for looks. But another spot I want to create, I want to do something with this spot. I know right now it's a mess, but it's kind of like a jungle down in here. I think it looks pretty cool. And I'll get over to the other side and show you a little bit from over there. So I might show it from the top because I can't get down in there. But you see this is a mess. It's just a big mess right here. So this is where I get to get creative. So I think I want to create a little sitting area right here. You can come down here and just sit in a peaceful little spot. So that's what I'm fixing to do. And then we're going to create a waterfall right here. Then the pond and all that stuff will drain out here to a waterfall. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited about this spot. The one thing I want to talk about while I'm here is wisteria. You see this? That's a wisteria vine. Look how big that is. And there's a couple of them. Wisteria, if you don't know what it is, it's a beautiful vine, beautiful flower, and smells really good. But it takes over. Look how big them vines are. And they're killing the trees. When I first started this project, it's been about 6 or 7 years ago. It's 2025, so it's been a little bit we've been working here. But this is the whole job, was covered with these vines. And Hallmark to come get us to work a little bit. We just come work every so often, pulling out what we can. But man, those things are huge. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna pull the whole tree down. So we'll see if I can get these things loose and fix this spot up. I'm excited. This is gonna be pretty cool. Well, here's where I stood when we started, and I showed you the video of the mess. Everything, all our grading is still a mess because we're just clearing. I have cut out some of the berm, but I don't want to grade it all because I don't know where all my dirt's going to go yet. So I've cut out what I needed to get it where I can work and we can get across and clean everything up. And then I probably got another day or two of cleanup, and then we'll start coming in and grading out the ponds and everything. I think we're going to put a pond in here. I'd like to put a heart-shaped pond somewhere. I got to think about that this morning. But you can see what this looks like. Boy, this is a mess, ain't it? It's really, really wet out here once we got into this. This looks like it was original creek bed. There's sitting water, but there's not really anything flowing. But we are close to the water table, so I'm probably going to pull this back and use this for the creek. Go around that tree and then go to the right and tie it in to the ditch I dug. but I'm not sure yet. So that gets into the hard part of this, because I've got to design this to give the homeowners what they want, and none of us really know. We're just coming in and making just something awesome. That's what I'm very grateful the Lord allowed me to have a good eye for things like this. And we really don't know what we're going to do till we get it cleared, get everything kind of smoothed out, get our dirt moved around some. And then that way, once you got that clean slate opened up, you can see what you want to do and go from there. But we should have this wrapped up next week. But today, we're just about finished all the clearing today. I'm going over in the backwoods, and I'll show you a little video over there what Mara did yesterday. But she got it cut back to where there was more debris, and I still got a bunch of debris from yesterday out there in the middle. That's why that looks like there's just a bunch of stuff. But Mara will get all that stuff moved here in a little bit. It's probably about an hour's worth of moving. And then we're going back in that back corner. Once we get that cleaned up, we're ready to start grading. So we're getting there. Well, let's move to the back side, and I'll show you a little bit before I get started down there. So here's all Mara could get cut. She got it cut up to everything. You see all that debris. So now what I'm going to do is go through and clean up this debris that I can see now, and then she'll get further back up in there. And all this will be the last part of the I don't know what we want to call this, the wooded section of the wedding venue. I got a bunch of trees down in here. You see all those trees that come down during the hurricane. And then look at that monster. That joker's big. I got to get that out of here today. Which there's two of them, but yeah, that's going to be a little challenging. Plus, that's going to have a lot of pressure on it. That one's going to be scary. I could get hurt on that one. But I'm going to go through and clean up all this stuff today. That's probably all we'll get done today, because it's Friday. It's going to be a little bit of a short day. But that's where we at. I'm ready to see all this done, because this is going to be pretty. Follow along and see it to the end. We should be done next week. Well, this is my current situation. Get all this mess on top of each other. You see, this is one of those situations where you look and you're like, man, where did I start? You can see it's all these vines. I mean, all this is vines. See all these vines? They're everywhere. All that is wisteria. And I make this a big point because a lot of people want to get with wisteria, but you don't want it. I mean, look, that's vines. That's how bad that stuff takes over. All this is vines. And you see how it's destroyed this whole area? But we're gonna make it look good. Well, we're getting ready to call it a week. So we probably got about, I think around 30 hours, maybe a little over 30 hours in this job. So got those trees cut up, which were really tricky. Had a hanging one right there, but you kind of see where we're at now. Big difference out here, man. This is looking cool. And once we get everything done, we'll come over it again with the bush hog and get all this junk. You know, we're not going to go in here and try to rake it with a machine and turn it into dirt. We like to bush hog it so that way everything looks cleaner. I did have several stumps to dig up over here, so this got really messy. So this is well, you saw a video of it. This was a mess. Really tricky. Here's an old liquor bottle. But man, has this changed big time. So I like that little spot right there, because you'll have a creek coming down to the left. I'm gonna open some springs up a little bit when I clean the ditch out on up through there. We got to figure out which way we want to make the water run, because you can go two different ways. You can go to the left and go around that way, or you can go to the right. So our main, this is gonna hold water. I don't know how wide we're gonna make it. May leave it as wide as it is, but the water is only gonna be about 2 feet deep in that. So you see how much dirt I gotta pull back. And then we'll have to shape all this up. But next week we're gonna start doing all the shape up. This kind of reminds me of a little island, which will be pretty cool. But that's what we got today. I'll walk up there and show you how much debris we've racked up this week. So this is all the debris. Look at all the vines we pulled out of there. Man, it blows my mind how much of that was vines. You know, that's probably 6 foot tall. I'm 5'6" and it's taller than I am. Then we'll have a good wood over here. We're gonna pit burn. We've got to be real cautious of smoke out here because we're in the middle of downtown Spartanburg. But this property right here is, they were able to keep it in the county so we can burn. But in doing so, I want to burn in the pit because it burns hotter and cleaner. And so we still got all this junk over here. I mean, there is a lot of junk that I got to burn. See, that's taller than I am too. It's just a lot of stuff. You know, and the biggest part of that is vines. Got a lot of bamboo in it. See how wide this pile is, but it's a mess. So we're gonna get ready and call it a day. I'll show you a view from up here, what we're working on. So you see the whole area down through there. That's what we're doing. And I'll get us a video up from up here too when we finish up. I'm getting excited. Follow along. See how this turns out. It's gonna be beautiful.